So, have you ever wondered how a brand new hotel goes from just an idea, a blueprint on a table, to a grand opening with guests walking through the doors? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on that whole process. We're going to get into the art and the science of hotel construction project management. Hello and welcome. I'll be your guide as we explore this topic. My goal is to break down these huge, complex ideas and really bridge that gap between a grand vision and a grand opening, giving you the kind of practical insights you'll need to lead in this incredible industry. Here's what we've got on tap for today. First, we'll meet our star player, who I call the construction conductor. Then, we'll look at their essential roadmap, charting the critical path. After that, we'll get ready for battling project dragons. Yep, you heard that right. We'll open up the manager's toolkit to see how they do it, all leading up to that final amazing moment, reaching grand opening. Okay, let's jump right in. Our story starts with the single most important person in any hotel construction project, the project manager. But honestly, you should think of them as more than just a manager. They're like the conductor of a massive, complex orchestra of designers, contractors, and suppliers. And this quote really hits the nail on the head. Their job goes way beyond just reading plans. It's all about orchestrating this symphony of moving parts, making sure every single piece, every material arrives and gets installed in a perfectly timed sequence. That is a serious skill. So how does this conductor keep that whole orchestra in sync? Well, they rely on a master plan, a kind of essential map for the entire project. It's called the critical path. Now, the power of the critical path is that it's not just some to-do list. Not at all. It's the project spine. It clearly identifies the one chain of tasks that has zero flexibility. If any one of these tasks gets delayed, the grand opening date gets delayed. It's that simple. These are perfect examples of what we call long lead items. I mean, think about it. You can't just run to the store and buy a hotel elevator off the shelf, right? These things are custom built. They can take months to manufacture and deliver. The project manager has to order them way in advance to make sure they show up exactly when they're needed. And this is precisely why protecting that critical path is everything. It's all about the domino effect. Just imagine for a second that the custom windows are delayed by a week. Well, that means the building isn't watertight, which means you can't install the drywall, which means the painters can't paint. You get the idea. One small delay creates a huge, cascading problem down the line. So here's the key takeaway. At Europe Hotel School London, we teach that a project manager's job isn't just to coordinate. They have to be a ruthless protector of the project's two most valuable resources, time and money. Now, every hero's journey has its challenges. And for a project manager, these challenges come in the form of what I like to call project dragons. The two most common and fearsome are unexpected delays and a very sneaky beast known as scope creep. You know, scope creep is so tricky because it almost always starts with a simple, harmless-sounding request. Something like, hey, can we just move this wall 6 inches over? Or, you know what, let's use a different kind of tile on the lobby. These ideas might sound great at the time, but they can be incredibly destructive once the concrete is already poured and the pipes are in place. So let's just trace what happens. That minor change gets requested. Well, now you might need brand new permits from the city. You absolutely have to reorder materials. Then the contractor issues what's called a change order, which is basically a formal document that adds cost and time. And just like that, that small idea has officially inflated the budget and pushed back your opening date. So, how does our project manager fight these dragons and keep everything under control? Well, they rely on a very specific set of powerful tools. To keep track of the entire project at a glance, they use a tool called a Gantt chart. To make sure the work being done meets the brand standards, they're doing constant quality control and regular site walks. And to keep absolutely everyone aligned, they rely on the power of clear, consistent communication. And of all these tools, maybe the most critical is the weekly OAC meeting. OAC stands for Owner, Architect, Contractor. Think of this meeting as the project's command center. It's where problems get solved, decisions are made, and everyone is held accountable. It's the key to keeping that whole complex dance moving in harmony. So after months, sometimes even years, of navigating that critical path, of battling those dragons, and masterfully using their toolkit, the project manager brings the whole project to its most anticipated milestone. That milestone is called substantial completion. It's the official finish line of the construction race.
Now, this doesn't mean every single light bulb is perfect just yet, but it does mean the building is safe, it's functional, and it's ready. The hotel owner can now take the keys and begin that final, exciting phase of hiring staff, stocking the rooms, and getting ready to welcome the very first guests.
And this is truly the culmination of everything. The project manager has successfully taken a set of blueprints and an empty plot of land and turned it into a physical, beautiful asset. They have delivered the prize, the stage upon which the art of hospitality is finally ready to be performed. And that brings us to one final crucial thought. A project manager builds the hardware, the beautiful, functional building itself. But that's only the beginning. It's the operations team that provides the software, the service, the culture, the experience. The project manager builds the hotel, but it's the people inside who ultimately build its soul.